Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the SimPossible Racing League MS4 Truck Series, and tonight we have the 83 laps of this very unique 1.5 mile speedway, and I'm Cameron Rich. In the booth with me, Carlos Acosta, and later on Greg Rentz filling in for Peter Short. But tonight should be an absolute buster of a race. We should see a lot of good racing at this very unique track. Last week's winner, David Wilson, won at Chicagoland Speedway, a very similar track on paper to this, but also very different for one. This track is very bumpy and quite a bit wider than Chicagoland, but Carlos, one of my favorite tracks is, Kentucky is one of my favorite tracks, but it's quite a bit quite a bit of a challenge for these drivers. Would you agree with that?
I would agree correctly there. Kentucky is it's a pretty big track for the size that people usually consider it to be. But these drivers are going to have a challenge to try to see how fast they can drive in these tracks in this track without going too far and possibly damaging these trucks. Pardon me, I said cars earlier. We're all having a weird start today without Peter. Peter, I think Peter's watching us tonight. We hope you can join us next week because you are causing us so many troubles.
Yes, I do apologize for my mess up there. I was getting my bearings, but we are in qualifying. We have 5 minutes of qualifying. This league does run open qualifying, so every car is on track right now. You're watching Nate Catilla make his laps. Now Alan Capers in that very uniquely colored number 13 truck. Open qualifying does present a bit of a challenge to these drivers. A little bit of a strategy call too. Some drivers like to wait till the end. Some like to go out early. It just all matters. See, on board with Kyle Zimmer, one of the more dominant drivers in this series so far. He has, I do believe, 2 wins actually. He is third.
Him and Tanner Sharp are two of the best competitors out here. Tanner Sharp with points.
Yes, and of course they are teammates, those Rebel Racing trucks. He is third in points, so always count on these two drivers to be a force to be reckoned with every week. But a very unique way to run this track. We see Kyle Zimmer, he's running about a lane up. That's kind of where you want to run here. Just to keep out those bumps on the bottom line. And he's probably going to do the same thing down here in turns 3 and 4. You can kind of see there's rubber up there right around the middle. Actually, he's running the bottom line, so quite interesting there. But you swing out very wide. You swing out very wide here out of turn 4 and just use up all the track. It's very, very wide compared to most tracks of its configuration.
And to the top, you saw it right there. That lap was fast enough to bump his teammate Tanner Sharp. His teammate getting a 32.219 and Kyle Zimmer getting a 31.969. So far, the only truck in the 31s.
A very impressive lap there. That was the fastest lap in the session so far, both through qualifying and practice. And of course, Kyle Zimmer, we want to give a shout out to him and David Wilson, Billy Wise, and Eric Minch. Those were 4 drivers that did participate in the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona over the weekend, and they did finish 10th in their class, actually leading a fair bit of laps in the race.
They also had the fastest lap in the session.
Yeah, very impressive job by them. I want to give a big shout out to them, and it's a great performance by them. Of course, Jeff Schmidt and Nate Cotilla also being on board as crew chief duties there. But Carlos, you and I both ran the race, and I know
Not together.
Yeah. We ran in different teams and splits. I know you ran into some troubles, but that's a very impressive feat just to finish the race.
I had my best 24-hour performance ever. Even if it did end up with the car wrecked, it wasn't my fault. I was driving at the time, but if you go wide in the corner, at least check before you merge. And this guy didn't, and we ended up with some repairs. Unfortunately, we ended up getting a DNF, having too much damage with like 8 hours to go. But that was my 24 hours. That was yours.
We ended up finishing 5th in our class, so I'd say we did pretty well. We were in the first race, top split. So I'm happy with the performance. I think we all did very well. But that does conclude qualifying here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. And Kyle Zimmer will be your pole winner. And to his outside, he will have his teammate Tanner Sharp. I do think that is Kyle Zimmer's. I don't know how many poles he has. I think that was just the third pole.
I do not have the stats with me at the moment, but we'll be sure to confirm that in a little bit.
Yes, correct. That was his third pole of the season. So our stat guy not here tonight, but we will improvise.
Peter, if you can hear us, we need you.
But great lap by him. He's more than a tenth faster than Tanner, so it's a very impressive lap he put down. But we will be getting underway here very shortly. The trucks are gridding up on the pit road, so we will have the
We're just waiting on some
grid.
drivers to get on.
But this is the same length race and racetrack as last week, but it should go a lot differently. Of course, this is a very different track to Chicagoland, quite a bit less banked. But here we go. Kyle Zimmer, with that very impressive lap time, 31.969, will be on the pole, and Tanner Sharp will be starting to his outside. Nate Cotilla going to be starting position number 3, and to his outside, AJ Digby. David Wilson.
I'll take it from now. In 5th place, David Wilson, with to his outside, Christopher Burge. Adam Capers will be starting 7th, with Tom Johnson in 8th. 9th will be Tim Conley, and 10th will be Kevin Cochran. Camp.
Eric Minch is going to be starting in position 11, and to his outside, Brian Lowhead, number 66.
And that will complete the qualifying grid for tonight's race. I am excited to get this one done, and I believe next week we also have Pocono. It's going to be a different change of pace. Of course, Pocono doesn't have track lights, so it will be in the daytime.
Yes, of course. Pocono, one of the more unique tracks we go to on the schedule. Personal favorite of mine. I don't know how these drivers like it. Some like it, some hate it. But we are underway now. The pace car has pulled off pit road with the field behind them.
And of course,
we'll be making one pace lap here.
And of course, this league loves to use that. I believe, is that the Porsche or the rough pace car?
Yes.
That wasn't a yes or no question. I hate it when you do that.
It's but yes, it is a rough, but it is a Porsche and all but name. So yeah, we're on the backstretch now. Only one pace lap for this track, so we will be getting under green here very shortly. Gonna be interested to see how that high line Tanner Sharp and AJ Digby get into turn 1, because this is a middle to high line bias track. So if they can get a good start, and which there's a chance that they can get a good run through 1 and 2 and take the lead off the backstretch. But he's gonna have to hold his teammate very tight on the start. But pace car is off. Field is getting ready to go green. The field is in the hands of the flag man. And he is throwing the green flag. We are underway now. Tanner Sharp gets a good restart. He holds his teammate to the inside very tight. They're going into turn 1 here. That high line got a pretty good restart. Let's see if they can take the lead off turn number 2. Keep that momentum up through the corner. No, he's going to slide in behind Zimmer. But he's actually going to make the crossover and try to take the lead off under him into turn number 3, and I think he's going to be able to make the move there. He's got a great run. He's going to dive it in there and possibly bring AJ Digby with him.
And Tanner Sharp just absolutely loves this racetrack, and every single time this racetrack is mentioned, if I'm anywhere near him, he is going to love to mention the fact that I knocked him out from a B series race with 3R Racing a couple years ago, even though I don't remember it ever happening or him showing the proof of that happening. So Tanner just loves to talk about how I did that.
And he loves the fact that he's leading now. He's got Zimmer and Digby side by side behind him. Digby's going to sail it off into turn number 3. I love watching these cars go into turn 3 because it's so flat, so tight. It's really hard to keep it down, and I love watching these drivers do it. But here's Christopher Burge in position 4. He's going to think about taking it 3 wide. Going to think better of it. Going to slot him behind Digby here into 1. Very close. Kyle Zimmer has actually lost 3 spots already, so he's not going to like that. Great run for Roberge right now, getting up into P3, but Zimmer's not going to go down without a fight. He's going to try to take third back from Roberge here going to turn 3. And we're starting to see this multi-groove racetrack kind of coming into play here. You see trucks running all over the track. Roberge on the high side, Digby on the low side. It's so hard to get that pass made when you're Digby. And it's so frustrating if you're Digby and Roberge and even Zimmer there, because Tanner's just kind of driving away because they're trying to go 3 wide here, and he just can't do anything about it. But Digby's gonna stay tight on the bottom under Roberge. Roberge's actually gonna get a great run off turn number 4. Gonna take second for himself. But we are single file back throughout the field here. Tanner Sharp with about a 1 second lead already. So he's already taken a good commanding lead of this race with the rest of the field behind him.
And what a fantastic lead Tanner Sharp already has within by this point already 5 laps. He already has a 1 second lead over Chris Roberge. Chris Roberge also has been known to carry a lot of speed, as we see Kyle Zimmer fighting for third place on the outside. Oh, pardon me, on the inside. I got my drivers confused for a moment. I just gotta mention something about AJ Digsby, the number 14's paint scheme. I just love that paint scheme. AJ Digsby is always a fan favorite, and not only is he a fan favorite, but he's also a paint scheme favorite. He always has one of the best looking paint schemes I've seen.
Yes, him and Zimmer are in a very tight battle for third right now. They have not let each other go on the racetrack at all. Look at him pinching that 25 down.
Oh, now that you mentioned
very
that.
close. Yeah, he's gonna take third for himself right now. Zimmer is gonna actually fall into the clutches of David Wilson and Cotilla battling for that is position number 5, I believe.
Well, before they do fall into his clutches, into their clutches, they need to determine their own battle. That being said, it looks like once again, now that we mention it, the battle ends with David Wilson getting that position over the 4 of Nate Cotilla.
That's true. Nate Cotilla very high in turn 1 there, almost hit the wall, but gathered it back up, and he's going to slot in behind Wilson. Wilson actually, I don't believe he didn't have a great qualifying run. Started in position 5 and actually lost a spot so far in this race. Cotilla started 3rd and is falling back to 6th, but very early on, we're only on lap 8 of 83, so there's no reason to push it too hard. Here comes Digby. He's going to be all over the back of Roberge here off turn number 2. Very, very close. Digby, he's a driver that has been so close to that win in the past several races, actually lost a few by inches that I can remember. But, he's going to be really, really, really wanting to get by Roberge here and chase down Tanner.
Currently, right now, the driver with the biggest gain since the start of the race is Chris Roberge. He is currently up 4 positions in second as we are watching him from his rear bumper. And you know what? Speaking of big gains, let's talk about the sponsor for the series, Cam.
The sponsor, the MS Forward, very great sponsor. I've actually checked out their Facebook page and all that, and they do a lot of great work for this series, and it's great to see them sponsoring this series and what they do to get their name out and stuff. So it's really cool. I love that they put their name out on this kind of stuff and let these guys do this kind of racing. It's very cool.
Wonderful.
I love watching all these guys race, and it's just they put on a heck of a show every week, even as a spectator and a commentator.
And for the first time in this league's history, we are on iRacing Live. So anybody who is watching us from iRacing Live, thank you so much. Quick moment to talk about this league. Everybody seems pretty calm right now. This league was created by Jeff Schmidt, who we will be talking to towards the end of the race. Towards the end of the broadcast. This is a league dedicated for disabled drivers and disabled drivers only. So this is a league for disabled drivers to come, have fun, not be judged, and just have a blast, with other disabled drivers. Take a nice, easy Wednesday, drive with other friends, and in general, just have fun with race cars. And who can truly blame them? Who can truly blame just having fun race car? That's something I wanted to do. And with iRacing, it's a possibility. So, kind of lost my train of thought there. Cam,
Absolutely, Carlos. And these guys put on a hell of a show, as good as any other league, any other driver every week. We saw Kyle Zimmer go from fourth to he tried to make a move for second there, sent it off into turn 3 so hard. He was in Indianapolis, but great move there. He didn't work for him, but it was sure fun to watch. And this battle for second is really tight. We have 4 trucks. You could throw a blanket under them. Roberge, Digby, Wilson, and Zimmer all fighting for it, with Cotillo not far behind. And behind him, we have Alan Capers. If something happens up here, he's going to be in the catbird seat, because this battle is just raging on. And I'm sure Tanner's loving it, because he's driven out to a 3.5-second lead. Very impressive so far.
What a mad lad that guy is. Tanner just loves this racetrack. Tanner just loves racing in general, whether it's broadcasting, commentating, or racing in a very, very serious league, or racing in a fun league. He's always there. He's always with a smile. Unless you run into him in Kentucky, and then he'll never let you live it down.
Yes, and we'd like to give a shout out to some of our chatters so far. Wesley, Eric, Heartbeat, the Heartbeat Network. Thank you for chatting with us. We do appreciate it. It gives us something to read while we are racing, or actually commentating. We are not racing. These guys are the ones racing. But hope you guys are enjoying this race. It is sure fun from where we are. But thank you for giving us some words on YouTube, and be sure to keep those words coming, because we like reading them.
Yeah, we're glad everybody here who was watching and commentating. Just we encourage you guys to commentate. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If we have the chance, we'll answer the question, or one of our community members will answer the questions. But just we hope everybody here is having a good time in these races. I know I always am. I'm not really one of these people that are built for commentating. As I always say, I have a voice for Sonic Films. So in a couple minutes, Greg Wentz should be in. He unfortunately has a day job. So I should be in to relieve me, and I can get back to giving you guys the best camera angles and greatest racing sights that I can do from behind the booth. Speaking of camera angles, I also want to take a moment to thank the guys over at SimTV for giving us such an amazing camera package that we'll be using from now on.
And these cameras are showing us this battle in great detail, and it still has not ended. Wilson and Digby still going at it for P3, with Roberge not far in front of them. Tanner, actually, that lead has stabilized to about 3.5 seconds. With as hard as these guys are battling, surprised it hasn't.
Yeah, that could be something, because maybe Chris Roberge has kind of left that battle, and that battle for second has become a battle for third.
Yes, actually, as we say that, Digby does pull in front of Wilson, so that battle is over for very shortly.
With Chris Roberge leaving that battle, another enters, that being Kyle Zimmer. Kyle Zimmer is now in here and making this battle for third. It looks like Chris Roberge went really wide into that corner, and he's going to get attacked by AJ Digby, so never mind what happened, because now Chris Roberge has re-entered the battle. Right in front is the lap-down vehicle of Tim Conley. It's always a pleasure to see Tim driving around having a blast every single week. He's always talking about how much he loves racing with these guys.
And look at this, 3 wide into turn number 1. Roberge in the middle, Wilson and Digby flanking his sides. That was some pretty impressive stuff there. They're actually 4 wide with the lap car, Tim Connolly. But look at these 5 trucks in a bunch. This is really good stuff, Carlos. This is really awesome to see. Cotillo has caught back up, so he's battling with Zimmer right now. We have Digby and Wilson, and leading it all is Chris Roberge. It looks like Daytona right here.
Well, in some ways it kind of is, with kind of high downforce. Well, I mean, you mentioned downforce with these cars, with these trucks, but in the relative scope, these cars do have a bunch of downforce, and they're low in horsepower compared to their Xfinity and the Cup Series brothers. So
yes, they are.
Package, even though you're not going to be driving around full throttle, at least not every single lap, the draft does play an advantage.
That it does, and definitely I think that is why Catilla was able to catch up as quickly as he did because he was about a second behind these top 4 trucks, and then all of a sudden was there. But racing side by side does tend to slow these cars down a bit. But here Zimmer is gonna go past Digby for 4th, and Wilson actually gonna try to get Roberge here for 2nd. I don't know who's gonna make that move down there. Yeah, it's very bumpy down there, and you can't use up the track like you need to. So we see how this track is a little bit highline biased, but it's also multi-grooved at the same time. It's not a track where you only have to run the highline. We're seeing all these trucks run all over the track.
I also want to give a shout out to Chuck Smeen, who has made his appearance on the chat. Chuck is a fellow racing driver for the 3R Racing League, and just general cool guy to be with. So, hi Chuck, I hope you're doing great. Nothing to add there, Cam? Apparently Cam doesn't like you, Chuck. Sorry.
I love Chuck. Chuck's a cool dude, so I'm glad he's listening. Glad you're in here to watch this awesome race with us. Zimmer actually has driven up to 3rd. He was 5th just a second ago. So these trucks are just kind of dicing all over the place. They haven't settled their position whatsoever. Here's Digby. He's going to fall back to 5th or 6th behind Catilla.
I want to go ahead and take a quick moment to answer a quick question from the Heartbeat Network, asking a little bit concerned about multi-grooves, asking if it makes it a little bit dangerous. It's a kind of a
Roberge around in turn 2.
Oh, and he does go around indeed. We'll go ahead and answer that question at a later time, as I am trying. There we go. We'll try to figure out what happened to Chris Roberge to get him loose. Last I checked, he was battling for 2nd place. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and to go back and see if we can figure out just what went wrong.
It's a shame. I looked over and I saw the truck like a little loose, and then all of a sudden he was just smacked the wall there and got all out of shape there. The good news is that truck does not have much damage, but these drivers do have, I do believe, 4 fast repairs. So we have seen throughout the season that it does make these races better. It gives these drivers a chance to get back in it if they do end up in trouble like this or anything like that. So he will come to the pits and get that truck all fixed up and be right back in it.
Now, oh man, I've done this same thing before too, and it's always a little bit frustrating when you make a mistake like that. Something I do want to know is that I believe it was AJ Digby. Let's take a look what happens here. AJ Digby gets a little contact from Nate Catilla, and saves it. What an amazing job by AJ Digby to keep that car under control, keep that truck under control, and not cause another second series incident here.
Yeah, that's a great piece of driving by Digby, especially with a truck spinning in front of you. It's it's so hard to not get involved in that one when you're kind of in your own incident here. But see most of the field on pit road now. Should get 4 tires and fuel every truck. We have gone 26 laps on tires, so that's quite a significant distance and time. So should see all that. Of course, Roberge, who was involved in that caution, is kind of I want to say, league gambler. He usually does the opposite of what everyone else does week in and week out, which is pretty cool to see. But I don't imagine he would do that since those tires are going to be quite blistered and worn out. He actually did stay out that last time.
You mentioned about how he's a league gambler, but Eric Minch is actually ahead of him. Eric Minch decided also to stay out. Now that being said, we don't know if this is just to lead a lap and then go down pit road, or if this is, to just stay out. So we'll figure it out here once they go back around. It looks like Roberge might be coming down. We'll see. Typically, the strategy only works for the race leader because only the leader can get the point. Chris Roberge stays back out, and just like I thought, Eric Minch is going to go down pit road. He led his lap, he got his bonus points, and now Chris Roberge is going to stay out. We do have one driver a lap down, which means that we are going to have the extended lap. That being said, I believe now for the race leader, if the race leader did stay out, pit road is closed. So I do not believe that Chris Roberge can come down pit road and get his truck serviced without getting a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, I see where he's going with that strategy because those bonus points do count, but those tires have to be cooked after that spin, and he does have a little bit of damage. Not something that would terribly slow him down, but of course, with all the trucks behind him having new tires and no damage, that would be a big disadvantage. So I don't know what he's going to do here. He's kind of put himself in a little bit of a box, but we'll see. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yes, we have. That also being said, it's still somewhat early in the race. We did have a somewhat decent green flag run, and we may get another one. But it's still, we're not even halfway, so it's a good time for Christopher Birch to see if maybe those no tires work. It's only been 27 laps, but maybe if he was saving his tires, the draft does come in effect a little bit. This could just possibly work out for Chris.
Yeah, that was Chris Reberge, it looks like he is going to stay out. So maybe if he probably needs to just pull low on the track and let everybody by, or not make it hard because he will be a little bit slower just because of those tires are significantly worn. Plus, just with the 26 laps of green and the spin. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if he spins the tires a little bit on this restart because that's something we see at this track quite a bit.
It looks like Greg has joined us, and Cam, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take this restart over as I go ahead and get everything set up for Greg to join you. So whenever Greg is ready, once added to the call, he should be able to join you in the commentating.
All right. Well, we do have Greg in the booth now, so we will get him situated. But meanwhile, we are doubled up for this restart here. Christopher Burge is your leader. He did stay out. Tanner Sharp 2 is outside. And the field pretty much as it was when they went into the pit road before or at the caution, minus for Burge at the front. He was the cause of the caution. But pace car will be pulling off here in just a moment, and we will be getting under green. And the pace car is off. Reberge is your leader. He will be controlling this restart. We'll have to watch for tire spin with those old tires. And we are under green now. Tanner Sharp gets an amazing restart on the outside line. Reberge, as I thought, has a little bit of trouble going. He's going to actually get passed on the inside by Zimmer here. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1 with Digby on the outside line. Yeah, that 98's really slow in the middle, so he's going to get swallowed up by most of the field here. But move Digby to 3rd. Zimmer to 2nd. He's actually going to want to run down his teammate who has led this whole race so far. Oh, we have a spin over here in turn 3. Oh, wow. 13 of Caper is actually going for a ride there. I don't know what happened, but that looks like it's pretty bad. Yeah, the 98 of Reberge and the 4 of Nate Cotillo just got together. Oh yeah, the 80 of Kevin Cochran, 20 of David Wilson, all involved in it. Wow, the 13 of Capers took a massive hit from that 3 truck who just did not get slowed down in time. That was a pretty big wreck.
Yeah. So big wreck up there. 30 laps into this one in Kentucky. Man, they were still hitting well after the wreck there.
Yeah, I think that was just a case of those old tires on that 98 just, could not keep up with everyone else who had fresh tires, and just we saw the end result of that issue there. But looks like everybody's going to stay out. Actually, some of the damaged trucks did not.
Looks like we got a few trucks coming down pit road. Looks like the 66 is leading the charge down.
That 4 of Nate Cotillo actually took a pretty hard hit and decided to stay out on track, so I'm not sure what that strategy he's doing is going to be entailing, but maybe he's going to come down this time, because that truck is quite heavily damaged. But going to see most of the trucks in the field take their fast repair, and for Reberge that would mean probably fast repair number 2, because I do have to imagine. I think he got a tow because he's been on pit road for a while. regardless, the top 3 trucks did stay out, or top 4 if you count Catilla, who was in that accident. Sharp, Zimmer, and Digby. Looks like they were really the only ones who weren't in that wreck to some extent. So shows you how big of the 12 cars we have in the field, that did take out quite a bit of them. I do have to imagine some were towed in that wreck because there were some really, really hard hits there. But Tanner Sharp having a great race so far. He's led, I do believe, every lap so far, or at least all but 1 or 2. So I'm sure he's liking how it's going for him at least. And at least for his teammate, or his team owner, should I say, Levi Zielinski, he actually, both of his trucks are leading with Zimmer in second. So great race for both Rebel Racing trucks.
And Zimmer's had some momentum going in this series. He's picked up a few wins throughout the course of the last few weeks in this series, so definitely has to feel good to have your trucks up there 1-2 right now.
Yes, and those 2 Rebel trucks have been pretty much the class of field all season. About 5 or 6 wins between those 2 teammates, and of course with the 20 of David Wilson being the other truck who has captured multiple wins. Of course, involved in that wreck, so he will be a little bit behind at this restart, but should have his fast repair, and everything should be good to go when we go green next time.
Saw a few trucks rejoining the field after their fast repairs on pit road. 32 laps here at Kentucky out of 83 right now. It's Tanner Sharp leading the way. Looks like he's led all but 5 laps so far. As we get set for the restart, teammates 1-2, but looks like a field of hungry hounds behind him.
And just to give an update, it looks like the 98 of Roberge did not take a fast repair. He still has damage on that truck and is a lap down. So interesting strategy there. I'm not sure what that is going. I'm not sure what reasoning there is behind that, but either way, that's going to put that truck behind the 8 ball a little bit. We saw that truck very fast early on in this race, fighting for second place, and actually was quite up there, but unfortunate to see that. But he should be able to get back on the lead lap if we do get our caution.
So looks like 50 laps remaining in this 83-lap race around the Kentucky mile and a half, with the teammates up front, Tanner Sharp and Kyle Zimmer. Field getting set to come to green. And Cameron, Sharp's been the dominant truck so far, but now he's got his teammate up there to contend with.
Absolutely, Greg, and of course Zimmer did start on the pole, so we know that truck has speed, and these 2 trucks have been the class field all season. I do think we haven't seen the last of Kyle Zimmer. We know Tanner wants to beat him more than anyone else on the track, just because that's how you are with teammates. But pace car is off. Field is in the hands of Tanner Sharp, your leader, to his outside Kyle Zimmer. We'll see if he can get a good restart. We have seen that high side have a good restart on occasion, but no, it does not. Tanner does get a great restart. He's going to pull AJ Digby with him, try to get past that 25 of Zimmer. The field is scattered a little bit behind them. David Wilson on the high side, very high up on the track, was in that wreck, but moved AJ Digby up to second place.
And he was able to clear Zimmer before they got to 1 and 2, so a good run on the start by Digby. We'll see if he can go after the race leader, Tanner Sharp. You see him peaking a little bit low, looking like a groove low, with Kyle Zimmer right in his tire tracks. On board with the 3rd place, Kyle Zimmer. Was on the outside of that one, kind of got hung out and let AJ Digby get by. So now Zimmer back to work in the 25 truck.
And we see the 26th, the leader there, Tanner Sharp. He's running quite a bit higher than most of these trucks here. That's going to give AJ Digby an opportunity to go to the inside of him if he slips up a little bit. Actually, they are quite close into turn number 3. Digby's going to take a look, but not going to have the momentum just yet. Actually, yes, he is. He's going to dive it down in there below Tanner. Oh my God, they were close there off turn number 4. Tanner actually got really loose. Surprised there wasn't any contact.
Power move by Digby. Power move by Digby. Here comes Zimmer to the outside. We're going 3 wide into turn number 1. Zimmer backs out of it.
Yeah, they were touching there into turn number 1. That was really close. You couldn't fit a piece of paper in there, but Tanner's going to get the run off the high side, going to power back around Digby. Probably didn't like that move too much. maybe he thought it was a little bit early in the race to be racing that close.
Don't look now because Minch in the 0-1 is right there, poking his nose inside as well. The battle is for second between Zimmer and Digby, and here comes Minch thinking 3 wide inside as they come across the strike.
Yeah, that apron on the front stretch, of course, fair game. This is not Daytona or Talladega where that yellow line is out of bounds, so he can make that move all day and all night if he wants to, but not going to net him anything. He's going to stay in 4th place, actually going to lose a little bit of momentum off turn number 2. Move Zimmer to 2nd. He got around Digby there on the last lap.
So now Zimmer able to set his sights back on his teammate Tanner Sharp. Digby still riding that lower groove. Looks like Zimmer moved up to not quite as high up as Tanner Sharp, but still riding a little bit higher than Digby, at least through 3 and 4. Let's see what happens in the 1 and 2 this time.
And Tanner about 0.2 quicker than Zimmer that last lap, trying to set sail again like he did the first run and get out to the huge insurmountable lead he had, but I don't think Zimmer is going to fall as far behind as he did that first run because the field is quite single file.
There's your first side-by-side battle back here for the 5th position.
Yeah, that's Wilson and Catilla.
Wilson gets the spot for now over Catilla.
Those 2 trucks, of course, involved in that first accident. Actually, both have been very quick all race, both Catilla and Wilson. Just haven't seen them up towards the front too much, but we do know that 20 of Wilson in particular has been one of the most dominant trucks of the season. Of course, he is 2nd in points right now, so he's going to be wanting to get up towards this front real quick.
Because he's able to clear Catilla, and now he sets his sights on the battle that's beginning to brew between Minch and Digby. Minch was taking a peek to the inside. Now he looks to the outside in the 0-1, so a little bit of a crossover by Minch as we go on board with the 0-1. As you see him lining up and trying to take another shot at Digby into turn 3. Oh, a little bit of a bobble perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like he just hit those bumps a little bit wrong. That's a really easy thing to do here. Actually, he's going to get a good run off 4. Going to look to the inside of Digby. Going to make the move here. And I think he's going to be able to clear him. Yep, he's going to clear Digby. Move Eric Minch up to 3rd place.
So Minch able to get past Digby and now sets his sights on the teammates, Sharp and Zimmer. And we're closing in on halfway of this one. I believe this lap will be the halfway point of this one.
And Kyle Zimmer has actually ran down Tanner Sharp just a little bit, running ever so slightly faster than his teammate. We're talking about hundredths of a second, but he is running Tanner down just a little bit.
You might want to step up the pace a little bit because Minch is beginning to stretch a little bit over Digby. And we'll see if he's able to reel these guys in. Zimmer, you can see, taking a lower line off turn number 2 down the backstretch. We'll see if that helps him at all as we ride on board with Eric Minch, looking back at AJ Digby and the field behind him as Wilson tries to reel in Digby for the 4th spot.
We have a side-by-side battle for the 6th place with the 13 of Alan Capers and the 4 of Nate Catilla. Nate Catilla is going to drive below Capers in turn number 1. Probably not going to be able to get that run, but he's going to drive it in real hard, real close. Almost making contact there, but stays off him, and Alan Capers is going to be able to... Oh, that's right, Alan Capers is actually 2 laps down, so that is not a battle for position, but a battle nonetheless. Our only side-by-side battle on the track right now, but Alan Capers actually not in the lucky dog position. That would be Chris Roberge, so Alan Capers is actually going to want to get as far ahead as he can just so he can get that lucky dog if we do get a caution later in this race.
And don't forget that 80 truck behind Capers of Cochran. They are on the same lap, so that would be a battle for position if Capers is able to get around Catilla here. Cochran, rather, sorry.
Absolutely, and you have to think Catilla is probably getting a little bit frustrated with that 13 because battling with him, he is losing time and going to be swallowed up by Cochran here in just a moment. Actually going to fall in behind him, and Cochran's going to be really close into 1, but not going to be able to make the move.
And you can see just the amount of track now between the 4 of Catilla and the 20 of Wilson. That's the battle for 5th position that's really gone away now as Catilla's caught in lap traffic. He's kind of sandwiched between Capers and Cochran right now. So he's trying to get around Capers and try to get up there and get back into the top 5.
Yeah, he's actually going to duck low off turn number 4 here and just try to get by that 13 truck. Actually, you haven't missed anything up front either. We are single file up through this point in the field. Oh, very close there with the 4 and the 13 off turn number 2. They almost made contact, but that's going to give Cochran an opportunity to make the move down into turn 3.
But Catilla is able to shut the door on Cochran, and it's got to be frustrating for Catilla knowing that he's racing with guys who are 2 laps behind him on the scoreboard, and he wants to get up there and try to track down Wilson and Digby, but he's got to get around Capers first, and Capers actually pulling away from him a little bit.
Yeah, and a little bit frustrating for Cochran too, because he also knows that 13 is 2 laps down and knows that 4 is getting a little bit held up here, but 4th place here, Digby and Wilson. Wilson actually going to make the move into turn number 3. Digby looks like he got really high off turn number 2. I don't know if he got in the wall or not, but that's going to give Wilson the good run he needs to get off. Actually, no, he's going to fight back off turn number 4 here, stay on the outside. We see that outside line just really makes it so hard to pass for the truck on the bottom.
And that 14 truck has seemed really strong off turn number 4. He's gotten runs on both the bottom and then that run on the top. You mentioned it, how high he was off turn number 2. If he didn't catch the wall, you wouldn't have been able to fit a piece of paper between. You saw it again there. Not quite as noticeable that time, but that time before, he was definitely really close to the wall as he's able to fend off the 20 for now.
Yeah, a little bit of right side damage on that 14, so I do have to imagine he did get in the wall, but it's not slowing him down, and he's able to hold off that 20 of Wilson quite well and running really high on the track. I'm surprised he's able to keep it up there because usually you want to run a little bit lower, but he's making it work. Yeah, that 20 of Wilson is just
caught the wall that time.
20 of Wilson is just can't get the run off because that high line that Digby is running, but this is your best battle on the track right now for position number 4.
And that battle between them has allowed the 3 trucks behind them to close back in on them, losing a little bit of ground now. But Capers, Catilla, and Cochran all able to start to reel in Wilson and Digby as they continue the battle now as Wilson again looks to the inside.
Yeah, and this whole battle this whole pack of trucks is about 2.5 seconds behind 3rd place Eric Minch, who was kind of in a world of his own. We see Wilson actually made the move on Digby there, kind of just drove it into the corner and slid up in front of him. So move David Wilson to P4.
He gets the spot, clears Digby. Now he begins to try to reel back in Eric Minch. Looks like Attila might finally clear Capers, but not quite just yet. Now he clears him. Power move by Catilla through 1 and 2 to get the spot. Has looked like Digby got really close to the wall off turn number 2.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of that frustration there. Catilla looks like he just used up the 13, probably just tired of running behind him, and he knows that 80 of Cochran is all over him, so just drove him up the track, and here we see the 80 of Cochran just going to go around the outside of Capers here. Probably not going to be much of a battle here either.
And remember, that is for position for this battle between the 80 and the 13. They are both 2 laps down. This is the battle for the 10th spot right now. Give it to Cochran. Capers got loose off turn number 2.
And the 4 of Nate Catilla has actually caught the 14 of Digby. It looks like Digby has been slowed down by that damage a little bit or something, because he has fallen off the pace quite a bit. Actually going to be battled here by Catilla in just a moment.
And Wilson's has not been able to put a whole lot of distance between himself and Digby, wondering because we saw Wilson catch the wall during that battle with Digby. Did that slow Wilson's truck down at all?
Yeah, I have to imagine at least a little bit, because these trucks are so aero sensitive, and this track quite a bit as well. So, that damage certainly not going to be helping anything for Digby, but we have seen that truck be really quick all night, and I do think I don't think we've seen the last of the 14. See the 98 here of Roberge on pit road actually had to back it back into the stall, and I don't know if he's got it right yet, so tough break for him. so quick early on this race. Got caught up in an accident there. Just a little bit of bad strategy there, but you know, it's a shame. But put on
And that's
a great
big.
show early on.
And that's big too, because at the time he was in the lucky dog position. Losing that time, that's going to move Cochran into the lucky dog position 2 laps down, as there is nobody that is 1 lap down right now. Look at Cochran making some moves on some lead lap trucks now.
Yeah, Nate Catilla probably going to be even more frustrated now because he had the same situation back with Capers, and now he's getting passed by another 2 lap down truck, but actually going to make that easy. So we're not gonna make too much of a hassle out of it. That 80 truck is quite fast, and as I said earlier, you know, even battling lead lap trucks, you want to get as far ahead as you can because you never know what's going to happen. And we saw that with the 80. He's now in the lucky dog position.
Yeah, he got into the lucky dog position with a little bit of racer's luck, gets around Catilla, so we know that 80 truck is fast. If he can get a couple cautions and get himself back on the lead lap, he may be able to mount up a charge to the front if there's enough time.
Of course, that 80 was involved in that big accident. Had quite of a hard hit. He went head on the wall, and I believe had a tow, which is why he's 2 laps down. So bad luck there, but if he can't get that break to get back on the lead lap, we might see him put up a good result.
See him trying to make that outside lane work, as Digby still staying committed to the bottom through 1 and 2, as he tries to catch back in Wilson as 1 truck on pit road.
Yeah, Lowhead, I'm not sure what the fuel window is for these trucks. I gotta imagine it's probably about 60 laps, so I don't think this is strategy. Wilson actually got into the wall off turn number 2, and that allowed the 14 of AJ Digby to get below him, so he's gonna try to move his way up into P4.
So the battle for 4th, the best battle on the track right now, as Digby going to war with Wilson once again, with Cochran and Catilla back there. Catilla's in the catbird seat right now position-wise, because if these two were to get together, Catilla would be right there to capitalize.
Absolutely, and the 80 of Kevin Cochran probably just doesn't know what to do with himself right now. He's 2 laps down, kind of in the middle of a lead lap truck fight, so actually here comes Catilla on the bottom of AJ Digby. He got a really bad run off turn number 4, and Catilla's just going to drive around him. So move AJ Digby back to position number 6.
So Catilla able to fight his way back into the top 5 after the battle with Capers and Cochran. Boy, Capers has lost a lot of ground at this battle now, as he was right up there in the mix with that, and now he has fallen way behind.
Yeah, I have to imagine after that loose moment he had, his tires have just had about enough of it. So I think those tires have packed up for the day and just said, I'm out. But this battle is still raging on. David Wilson, I do see a little bit of damage on his truck as well, so I got to imagine he's a little bit in the same boat as Digby now with that. Oh, 80, spun around.
Oh, Catilla washed up the track. Cochran gets in the wall, and we have a caution with 24 laps to go. And a hard hit for Catilla and Cochran.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the 4 and the 80 were battling pretty hard, and they just ran out of room off turn number 2 here. Yeah, we see it on the replay. Just ran out of room, and wow, lucky break for Digby that he wasn't involved in that more than he was, because the 4 kind of spun off of his bumper. But yeah, we see that quite a lot in this track. Just run out of room, even though this track is so wide. You just slide out like it's because there's no banking to help you, so it's just run out of room there.
And boy, Catilla really washed up the track. There's the hit on the inside wall. We saw the nose damage on Catilla, but through 1 and 2, he just slid up the track, and he was fighting that thing, but just ran out of real estate with Cochran. But back up front, 23 to go. Tanner Sharp leading the way with Kyle Zimmer, and looks like all the leaders are going to come down pit road.
Yeah, and that really changes this race a lot because Tanner Sharp wasn't able to drive away from Kyle Zimmer. That lead had actually kind of stabilized around a second. So maybe Zimmer will play some strategy here. Maybe he'll just see if he can put 4 fresh tires on it and mount another charge. But this race actually really has gone by quite fast. We've had a lot of green running, and it's right. Yeah, we're almost under 20 to go.
So this is the crucial stop, the money stop here for these trucks. We get set for what would probably be a little bit less than 20 lap shootout by the time it's all sorted out and we get back green. Race off pit road, give it to Sharp.
And Zimmer almost was able to beat Tanner off. It just couldn't get the rear tires to hook up. He actually did get out of his stall a little bit earlier, but just could not get the tires to hook up, and that's going to put his teammate back in the lead.
So Sharp re-inherits the lead in the Mountain Dew Chevy Silverado. 22 to go. And with Cochran being the truck that brought out the caution, with him being in the position for the lucky dog, that should give Capers the lucky dog, correct?
Well, I'm not sure who. I'm not sure about that. I think it should be Tom Johnson. Yeah, he should be the lucky dog.
So the 56 of Tom Johnson gets the lucky dog.
Well, your top 5 after those pit stops is going to be, it looks like, the 26 of Tanner Sharp, followed by Kyle Zimmer, David Wilson, Eric Minch, and AJ Digby. We will be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Kentucky Motor Speedway. We have 20 laps to go in this race out of 83. Been quite a short race, but we are getting ready to go green here. Field is doubled up behind Tanner Sharp and Kyle Zimmer. Those two trucks have pretty much been 1-2 all race. Of course, the two Rebel trucks showing their dominance in this series and race so far. But don't look behind them. That is the 20 of David Wilson. That is P2 and points. And the 01 of Eric Minch also been a factor in this race. And the base car is off. The field is in the hands of Tanner Sharp. He's going to wait for the flagman. Of course, all of these starts are on
contact in the back. The 3 and the 14 getting together before the green. The 3 has got some heavy damage of Connolly. Let's see what happens on this restart, but you can see the damage on the back of the 14 of Digby as well. Connolly drove right in the back of him coming to the green. We'll see if that affects the 14 truck. Zimmer did not get a good start though in the 25. That's the second straight restart that's happened.
Yeah, that's it looks like just Tim Connolly was not able to get slowed up for that restart. Quite a shame there, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect the 14 too much because he's going to go 3 wide, and this battle for second raging on still, yet Tanner Sharp has pulled out to about a second lead already, but David Wilson, AJ Digby, Eric Minch all fighting for it, and Zimmer and Catilla not far behind.
They'll give it to Digby for the time being. 18 laps to go, and Digby, we saw him so strong on the restart last time, but the truck kind of went away the longer the run went. Oh, Zimmer Almost gets collected with Catilla, hangs on to it. Now he's going to the inside of Wilson. 5-truck battle for second.
Yeah, you put all these trucks under a blanket, and right now Digby has that second place. Of course, Minch, Wilson, Zimmer, Catilla all won it. They're going to chase him around the bottom line. Actually, most fields on the bottom, but Wilson up top. Zimmer's going to get by Wilson on the bottom side. But here comes Minch on the bottom. He's going to get really close up to Digby. That was almost contact there.
So Sharp pulling away, Digby trying to hold off Minch, and we saw it took a couple laps for Minch's truck to really settle in, but once he did, he was pretty quick. He wasn't able to really get up there and contend with Zimmer and Sharp, but he had some speed, and with a short run truck, I think he may be able to get up there, as one truck's around. It's the 88 truck. 98, sorry, smoke getting in the way there.
And Chris Roberge not had the best of races so far, and that's not going to...
And that was a hard hit, too.
Not gonna be the race he wanted. Of course, he was so fast early on, and just really that truck is pretty much used up, smoking badly. But this battle for second up at the front, not going away. Digby and Minch still going at it. Wilson and Zimmer have concluded their battle with Wilson winning that one, but actually, as I say that, Zimmer's going to get a good ride off too to go on the bottom of Zimmer or Wilson. Sorry.
And now Wilson's going to take a peek to the inside of Minch for the third spot. Minch able to shut the door this time. That allows Digby to put a little bit of gap between himself and Minch, and you're seeing it all from the roof of Kyle Zimmer, who ran in second for pretty much that majority of that run, but not a good restart for Zimmer. See if he can come fighting back.
No, he's not going to like that restart at all, and if we get to the end of this race, he's going to look at that one and be like, wow, I should have done something wrong, but he's actually going to get a good run. Thought he was going to go high on the 20 of Zimmer, but just couldn't get the run. Of course, Tanner Sharp, loving this. 14 laps to go. He's got a 1.1 second lead on Digby and pulling away.
Pulling away, but man, that 25 is strong on exit of corner. We saw it off turn 2 a couple times, and then we saw it on turn 4 that time. So keep your eyes on the 25 car. Looked like he may have bobbled just a hair going into turn number 1. We'll see what happens off turn number 2 this time. Took a peek to the bottom, but fell in line there as the battle breaks out for second again between Digby and Minch.
Yeah, all these trucks in single file right now, but battle still rage on. Zimmer is not done with Wilson. He's going to pull up right to the spoiler of that 20 truck and dive down to the bottom into turn number 1. Going to try to make that move. Oh, Minch and Digby.
Oh, contact!
Oh, no.
Can Digby save it? They both save it. Minch gets the spot, but don't look now because here comes Wilson and Zimmer. Wilson with a big move off turn number 2 to get around the sliding 14 and 0-1, and Wilson the second.
And Digby is not going to be happy about that move because he pretty much got moved out of the way by the 0-1, but that allowed the 20 of Wilson to get up to second place, and that's been the highest he's been all night. Has not led a lap yet, I do not believe, but it's probably... Yeah, they're going to go on the outside of the 3 of Connolly here.
But it is a long way back. Oh, Zimmer got the wall. Oh, and there's a hit from Zimmer, and we got problems. Oh, big hit by Digby. That would be a yellow. Catilla also involved. That was a vicious hit for AJ Digby.
Yeah, tough break for both of those trucks. Both of them were so fast and just... bad luck there. The 25 of Zimmer got in the wall. Digby nowhere to go, and just, yeah, you see the end result there. Digby goes flying in the air, and Nate Catilla has, I think he's been involved in every wreck tonight, and that's just, he's got to be frustrated beyond belief with how his race has gone, even though he's been right up there with these guys pretty much for the majority of it.
This is on board with Digby. Man, what a hit to the inside wall. And a wild ride for AJ Digby.
Yeah, and it looks, I think that truck actually needed to tow. Yes, he did, so that's pretty much going to take him out of the running of this race. Going to put him a lap or 2 down, so really tough break. You hate to see that, but that's going to bring the trucks down pit road. Actually, no, the 20 of Wilson stayed out. So strategy call on that.
All right, so It's been 10 laps and less than 10 laps to go. Cameron, do you like the call?
I love the call. I mean, if you can't beat him, you got to try to do something different. So I like the call, and I think, well, I'm a gambling man myself. I like the call whenever you want to try something that, goes against the grain per se. I'm always for it.
All right, so strategy call here late in the going at Kentucky. Gives Wilson the lead. Sharp will roll off second, Minch third.
Yeah, that's going to change the entirety of this race. Of course, Tanner has really not been, besides the initial start, he's not been anywhere but first place in this race. So definitely going to have to make sure that he gets a good restart. But let's talk to him. Tanner Sharp, this is 3 Wide TV. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, we saw you pit, but the 20 did not. So a little interesting there. Actually, I think he's pitting now. Yes, he is. So we were gonna ask you what what were you gonna do on this restart, but he kind of just foiled our plot there. But anyway, you've had a great race so far. Gonna have 7 or 8 to go on this restart. What's your plan to bring this home?
No plan. Keep doing what I'm doing. We're not changing it up.
All right, man. Well, what you've been doing has been working because you've been dominant tonight. But how's the track been for you?
It's hard to run the middle groove. Where I really want to run is that middle groove. That's where I'm picking up the most grip as the run goes on, but I can't run that groove on stickers. So just kind of throwing a couple laps, then get to that middle groove. On a long green flag run, it's getting a little loosey-goosey off of turn 4, but nothing drastic. Otherwise, just got to hit your marks just right, and you'll be just fine. So that's what I've been doing all night, and so far it's been working.
All right, Tanner. Well, we're gonna let you get back to your job, which you've been doing great all night. Good luck the rest of the race.
10-4, thank you.
All right. Well, we did see the 20 of Wilson come into the pits, so that kind of puts an end to that strategy. I guess he just wanted to lead a lap or whatever. Maybe he thought that that just wasn't gonna work. But regardless, we're gonna put Tanner Sharp back into the lead of this race.
I'm almost wondering if Wilson was banking on a couple more trucks staying out, but he was the only one to stay out. So I think when he saw that and realized what was going on, he probably thought it better to just come in, sacrifice a couple positions on the chart, and still be up there in 4th here for this shootout. So this might not be done for the 20 truck.
Absolutely. I do believe he's still in the running, so maybe not a bad call. I'd always, if the difference between 1st and 4th is not really a lot, especially with the trucks. So we'll see. I mean, I like the staying out call, but I also like the pitting call.
Hey, figure not a whole lot to lose. Might as well give it a shot. So lights are out on the pace car. We're going to have 6 laps left in this one. When we take the green flag, Tanner Sharp has led the most of them, but he's got Eric Minch right to his outside. Kyle Zimmer caught up in that wreck. He's still in 3rd right now.
Yeah, it's great to see. We love these fast repairs in this league because they allow things like that, because that truck was quite a bit damaged. But regardless, pace car is going to be coming off the track right now, and he takes that hard left on a pit road. Give the field to Tanner Sharp. To his outside, Eric Minch. We're going to see if Eric can get a good restart and maybe mount a challenge to that 26. He's been dominant all night. Tanner gets a great restart, jumps out ahead of Eric Minch by about a car length and a half. He's going to bring his teammate of Zimmer with him. Zimmer's actually going to make a look into turn number 1, going to dive it right down to the bottom of the track. Can't do anything with it, though. Give the lead to Tanner Sharp.
That was the best restart Kyle Zimmer's had all night. They almost fanned out 3 wide. Minch caught the wall. And that opens the door, I believe, for Wilson. Looked like Wilson had a run. 1 truck in the wall off turn number 2. Yeah, Wilson with a run into turn 3. But what a move by Zimmer on the outside. of turns 3 and 4. Zimmer at the line. He's gonna have him at the line.
Zimmer's not going to go down fighting. He knows that he's been about as fast as his teammate all race, just hasn't been able to have the track position. Going to sail it off into turn number 1 there, and on the outside, and just pull ahead of the 20 of Wilson. That was a great
contact
run.
in the back. Attila, the 66. 66 goes around. Caution is out with coming to 4 to go.
And that's going to end the race right there. It's like the 4 of Catilla just got really high up there and came down. Tough break for Lowhead. He was...
there was contact with the 0-1 of Minch and the 4 of Catilla. Minch slid up the track right there. You see the contact. Just unfortunate timing as Catilla tried to chase it back down, and the 66 was right there.
Yeah, that's just again running out of room. This track, very deceptive in that regard, but tough break for Lowhead. He was up there running position number 5, and I think his truck has actually blown the motor, so getting a push from his teammate, the 98 of Roberge right now. Excuse me, not teammate, but the 98 is 3 laps down, so he's got nothing to lose. Just gonna give a friend a push back to the pits so he can finish the race probably. But regardless, back at the front, your winner will be Tanner Sharp as long as he can get back to the line without something awful happening. Give AJ Digby the free pass. Not that it really matters all too much, but he will be back on the lead lap. Actually, no, he will be 1 lap down, so I don't think that will change any positions, but Tanner Sharp kind of putting on a clinic tonight. Really was not able to be touched by anyone. The closest anyone that was able to get to him was the 25 of Zimmer, and he was about a second behind, so Tanner really asserting his dominance on this points championship tonight.
So Tanner Sharp, a dominating performance in that 26 truck, and what an up and down ride for his teammate Kyle Zimmer in the 25 also.
Absolutely, star on the pole. Really about 5 laps in the race, Tanner got around him and really wasn't able to mount a full charge, but he was up there with Tanner all night, just as fast as, just not faster, but still a great run. Obviously he had the speed, but of course those Rebel trucks, very fast week in and week out, and team owner Levi Zielinski's gonna be happy to have them both finish 1-2.
Another up and down run, that 20 of Wilson, back in deep fighting with lap traffic at one point, and here he is. He's going to come home 3rd.
Yeah, and that's 1, 3, and 2 in the points right there. Your top 3 finishing in the race. So all 3 of those trucks really asserting their dominance over this entire. We were talking about Tanner's dominance, but those 3 trucks have all been very stout week in and week out, and they're really showing themselves to be the class of the field here. Looks like the 3 of Tim Connolly has lost the motor. Thought he was going to get a push, but we'll see if someone will come around and give him a push back to the pits or able to finish this race.
So closing stages here as Tanner Sharp's just going to ride it out and take home the checkered here in Kentucky, so long as nothing happens. And Justin, a statement win for the 26. Cameron, sorry. So used to calling the races with Justin.
It's okay, I'll go by Justin, but yes, you are right. That's a statement win. That's Tanner's 5th win of the season. So great drive. Really, one of the best races we've seen, not for the lead, but that battle for second all race was absolutely intense. One of the, just so much battling, 3 wide, 4 wide. Just so fun to watch from up here in the booth. I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and Tanner, of course, loved it too. He pulled away about 3.5 seconds from it, but just such great racing all throughout the field.
This is the product of when you come to a track that has multiple grooves and a lot of room to race. You can see some amazing racing, and we saw it tonight out there.
We saw the 98 over Burrs trying to give Tim Conley a push, but actually pushed him the wrong way. But at the front, Tanner's going to pass the line and win the race for his 5th of the year. Dominated performance, as you said, Greg. Very, very statement win. What a great job by both of those Rebel Racing trucks.
So Sharp comes home with a win. His teammate Zimmer 3rd. Wilson in 4th. That is your podium here tonight. Looks like Mitch is going to come home in the 4th spot.
All right, well, we'll try to get some interviews here very shortly with your top 3 drivers. And this all sorted as Tanner Sharp does his celebratory burnouts. I'll let him celebrate before we interview him. But it's like we have caught up with 3rd place, David Wilson. David Wilson, 3Wide TV, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, quite an up and down night for you. Excuse me. You started in 5th place. Really, had speed, just not enough to go up there and take the lead away from Tanner. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough night. I'm just first time on this track, so it was a learning curve for me. I got in a couple accidents there early on, just couldn't really find my groove. I had damage there for one of the runs, and I just couldn't catch up to Eric Minton. She was really fast tonight, so were pretty well everybody here. It was really tough for me to handle this track. I ended up getting really lucky at the end and just was very fortunate to get a top 3 this race. I honestly did not think I would have got this high. It was just all the accidents at the end ended up playing out in my part.
Yes, like you said, rough night. Obviously, a 3rd place, nothing to be ashamed about. You are 2nd place in points, so gonna be a good points day for your championship hopes, regardless. But we saw you stay out there on the last caution and then pull back into the pits. Did you have a strategy planned, or did you just want to lead a lap and think, hey, I'm not going to try to risk it?
Yeah, at first I kind of debated whether or not to stay out, but once I realized that I got a bonus point out of it, I decided to pit in and just go for the fresh tires and hope for the best. I just couldn't seem to get up the front this race, and I was just really preying on a bonus point, so.
Absolutely, those bonus points do add up. We all know that. So each point does matter very much. But anyway, that's Kentucky. Next week we go to the quite a bit different Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle as they call it. How are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to that race. I especially with the new upgrade they did on Pocono in the past year, I'm really looking forward to this race.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for talking to us week in and week out. We know you got some shout outs for us as usual. Let's hear them.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Tanner on that win today. He definitely had the fastest car on track, or fastest truck, I mean, and he just pulled away every time. It was a really well-deserved win for him. congratulations to Eric as well for getting a top 3. I'd also like to thank you guys for hosting these every time. It's always nice to be able to go back and watch these races over, and we all really respect that you guys do this every week. It's an honor.
I think I can speak for us up in the booth and saying that we love watching you guys race. You guys put on a hell of a show there. That battle for second place in the early to mid stages of the race was absolutely awesome. But David, thank you so much for talking to us. Congrats on finishing third, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep, thank you.
All right, I do believe Greg has caught up with second place, and Kyle Zimmer.
Yeah, Kyle Zimmer, Greg Rents in the tower, got a copy. Kyle Zimmer, Greg Rents in the tower, got a copy.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, man, up and down run for you, man. You were up as high as second and fell back there late, got caught up in a wreck, and here you are in second. Talk about an up and down run.
Yeah. It was definitely up and down all race long, especially in the beginning where you were, I was in the traffic behind the truck. It was very tight all race long. Inside, trying to pass anyone was really, really tough to do, and really had to have outside lanes to pass everyone basically all night long, as far as I know. And in the middle of the run, I had a great run, keeping up with Tanner. Wasn't really losing any time there. And the end of the near end, I want to apologize to AJ and Nate for that big rut that happened with rewind in the corner there, and I got really tight off the corner and hit the wall. The guy hit behind, and Russ was hit through right there. But able to use the fast repair right there, and then get back to K10 and try to get my teammate Tanner for turn 1, and that and move a little too early. They got really tight off turn 2, but I'm happy to take home second tonight.
Yeah, you took home second, and it's got to feel good for a 1-2 finish with you and your teammate up there. Yeah, it was a good run for you coming home second, and it's got to feel good to get a 1-2 with you and your teammate up there.
Yeah, definitely feel good. I mean, last 5-6 races we have won last 5 out of 6 races, I think. So it's definitely felt good for Rebel Racing. Have some wins again.
All right, Kyle. Well, congratulations on the second place. I know you got some shout outs that you want to give out.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to shout out to you guys, Rewind TV, for broadcasting weekly, and definitely like to shout out to my sponsor, Airborne Graphics. Pick them out when you can, and I also want to thank Jeff. Making this SimPossible link. Without this would be a thing, and definitely like to thank Rebel Racing and MS4 for sponsoring the series, and everyone who participated in this series. It's been a great race today, and looking forward for next week at Pocono.
All right, well, we'll let you go celebrate tonight and get ready for Pocono. Second place tonight. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yep, we'll see you next week.
And that was second place Kyle Zimmer, and we've now caught up with his teammate winner tonight. A dominating performance. Tanner Sharp, Greg Rents in the tower. Got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tanner, man, that was a dominant performance for you tonight. 77 of 83 laps led, got the lead, and never looked back. Tell us about that run, man. It was wild.
We knew we had a good truck. We just didn't know how good of a truck we knew till that green flag dropped, and it was really good to get that first green flag run under our belt. That way we could understand the truck a little more, what's going to do on the long run, which we did, and never changed up the plan all night. Kept that track position, kept that clean air, and that's practically how we got the win here tonight.
Kept the clean air, kept the truck nice and clean, and that last run you were able to just set sail as the battle for second broke out. But has to make you feel good, though, knowing that at the end of the day, your teammate Kyle Zimmer wound up getting a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. We're doing, we keep doing this 1-2 stuff finishes. We've done it a couple times this year so far. I had to get a little greedy on the start there. I wanted that lead right off the bat to get the bonus point because I didn't lead a lap last week in Chicago. So sorry to take that away from Kyle a little bit. I know he was a fast truck all night. I thought he had me at one point, at least gain on me a little bit or keep it with me. So I had to change something up. At least I was thinking to change something up. I just kept at it, and caution came out, and just kept that clean air. Time the restart's just right. Make sure when the green flag comes out, you hit that gas, and yeah, it was a good run for Kyle too here tonight. Kyle did a fantastic job for a second place finish. I think he got involved in some kind of incident, but still came back.
All right. Well, Tanner, a dominating performance here at Kentucky. Now we go to Pocono next week. You like your chances to go 2 in a row and see if you can have another performance like that tonight?
Oh yeah, for sure. We haven't done the 2 in a row wins so far this season, even though we racked up 5 wins so far. But Pocono is a tough track. You got 3 different corners, and there's only 3 corners. Obviously, what turn 4? There is no turn 4. So 3 different corners to figure out, and I think it's repaved Pocono, so we might have to do some shifting there. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been a fun season so far, and there's a lot more rewarding wins coming up this season. So proud of my teammates, or my teammate Kyle, and everybody else who runs in this league does a fantastic job. They improve every single week. They just get faster and faster, and I'm just trying to one-up them, and they keep catching up. So these times I'm going to be in last place.
All right, man. We'll let you go celebrate, but before we do, we know you got some shout-outs you want to give here in Victory Lane.
Yeah, let's give a shout out first off to Jeff for creating the SimPossible Racing League. He does a fantastic job. He gave a lot of opportunities for people who have a disability on iRacing, and that's what is really needed to be shown. He's a real proud warrior in this world, and we need more warriors like Jeff to give opportunities to people who doesn't have the opportunities like other people do yet. So thanks to Jeff. And MS4 for sponsoring the truck series this season. It's been a fantastic sponsor. Hopefully they're on board in future sponsorships as well. Mountain Dew, Shriners Hospital for Children, my team, Rebel Racing team, Kyle, Levi Zielinski for giving us the opportunity to drive for him. Shriners Hospital for Children, Other Guy Postis, AMC supports. Thank to everybody. Also, you guys, 3Y TV for broadcasting the race here tonight. So thank you very much. You guys do iRacing Live tonight. That's right. I just heard about that. iRacing Live. How awesome is that? I mean, what an opportunity for these guys. Not just myself, but these guys in this league. What an opportunity to get their name shown. So that's awesome. So thanks to iRacing Live for putting us on the portal here on iRacing, and hopefully we can keep put on a good show every single week. Thank you, everybody.
And that's Tanner Sharp, winner tonight at Kentucky. And Cameron, you've caught up with Jeff Schmidt.
Yes, sir. I got Jeff Schmidt, the man, in more ways than one. Jeff, you got a copy?
Yeah. Hey, Cameron. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Well, man, that was I hope you watched that race as closely as we did, because that battle for second throughout most of the race was incredible. What a good way to start on iRacing Live.
It was, man. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the broadcast a little bit too as I was watching in the race control booth here, and like you stated, man, you could have thrown a blanket under that second place for a lot of the race. Those guys were battling it out. I know it got Tanner the opportunity to get that lead early on. That I think he had over a 3-second lead at one point, because those guys were battling so hard for that second place spot. Really awesome to see. Those guys did an awesome job. I mean, to see that kind of battling at Kentucky that close, that's it's not something that you always see in the truck series. So extremely proud of these guys always, and they have never failed to amaze me.
Yes, and speaking of amaze, we're gonna go a little bit down south a little bit. I was keeping in tune with your guys' Daytona 24 efforts. I know you didn't drive; you kind of did crew chiefing and whatnot. But how was that whole experience? We know the SimPossible guys finished 10th in their class and actually put on a good show. They led quite a bit of the laps and fastest lap.
Yeah, man, words can't explain how proud I am of the group that came together. I mean, these are guys that race every Wednesday, and they're rivals with each other. I mean, they're competitors against each other. Maybe not necessarily rivals, but competitors. And they pulled together to start a team for the 24-hour. You know, not even 2 weeks before the 24 hours started. So it's not like they had a whole lot of time either to prepare and get this going. And man, they just did a heck of a job. Words can't explain it. They ended up finishing P10 and led, I think, 31 laps, fastest lap of the field. You know, we went in there with the mindset that finishing this thing would be a victory, just finishing the race, and they did so much more than that. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say other than I'm extremely proud of them for that effort, and that's, you know, now they're talking about running all the other endurance races too, so we might have started something here with them. They're excited about it, and you know, for them to represent SimPossible Racing League in an event like that, and to run that 24 hours straight, doing 3-hour stints each, two times 3-hour stints. That you know, I wasn't sure that when we started this thing that anyone that would have joined this league would be able to do something like that, and they definitely surprised me. And we don't, I mean, we don't like the word limitations. We don't even like the word disability, right? Because it means that they're limited, and that's not the case, because these guys can do anything that they put their mind to, and just extremely proud of them.
You're very right about that. Of course, finishing the 24 is a win in itself, and of course, running well like that, it is even better. So I personally give my hats off to all those guys. I followed really closely along with the race as I was doing mine, so it's great to see them do well. But we see them do well every week, in and out, and you know, they put on a hell of a show. So we love watching it. But we know you got some shout-outs for us.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to thank you, Cameron, and 3 Wide for their support too with everything that we've done. That we know you guys are there to support it, and yeah, we don't take that stuff lightly, man. We see it, and it amps us up when we have people out there that follow along with us and help motivate. I mean, it's such an amazing family of iRacing that we have here. It's extraordinary, to say the least. But yeah, I got to thank you guys at 3 Wide TV for broadcasting this thing, and for Carlos to contact me in the beginning when we first started this. You know, it was just a concept of this disabled league, and we weren't sure how it was going to work. We had no idea. We sure were going to put every effort that we had into it to make sure that it did work, but we weren't sure how that was going to, you know, come into a fruition, really. And it's been amazing because of people's help, like Carlos and you and 3 Wide TV and everyone else in 3 Wide TV that's helped out. It's just so hats off to you guys. Thank you for the broadcast. It's been amazing. Our series sponsor, MS Forward, it's a gym in Omaha, Nebraska that's dedicated and designed for disabled individuals. They do some amazing stuff, and we're so proud to have them on board. They do a lot of cool programs, like telefitness. They have, so for disabled individuals that can't even make it out to the gym there, they have a telefitness program to where an internet connection, they can work out live with that person, or with a trained professional rather, and and do it that way. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. You guys gotta check them out at msforward.org is their website. They also have a Facebook page, MS Forward. Just super proud to have them on board and to be our main series sponsor here and everything that they've done for us. Daryl Kachera, hats off to him. What an amazing guy to want to be part of this. Yeah, the drivers, their friends, family, the spotters, anyone that watches these things, it's all motivation for us to keep going and to get stronger and stronger. I know our race tonight wasn't the biggest field, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's five guys out there. We're going to do it. If you're a disabled driver, we want you to come race with us. We want you to come have fun. It's been a blast. Everyone has fun. Everyone gets along great. Check us out on Facebook, SimPossible Racing League. Our website is simpossibleracingle.com. If you want to sign up, there's a driver sign-up form on there. For that, fill that out. We'll get you on track. If you are a disabled individual and you meet the criteria, we'll have you racing. And also, I want to give a shout out to Skylar Allen and Go Fast Racing League. And Skylar has been a great help with our website, our team speak, just in general. He's been my mentor, and he taught me everything I know about adminning races and all that kind of stuff. So, big shout out to Skylar. And for anyone that's looking for just a league that runs trucks, Xfinity, and Cup that follows NASCAR schedule, check out gofastracing.us. That's a great league as well. I'll be racing out there with you if you join that one. And that's pretty much it. Just want to say thanks to everyone that's ever helped us along this journey, and we're not going to give up. We're getting stronger and stronger, and we're going to push and make it as awesome as we can.
All right, Jeff. Thank you so much for talking with us. We do appreciate it. Love broadcasting these races and supporting the league as much as we can. We hope everybody else does too. But thank you for talking with us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night.
We do have another interview. Chris Roberge, you got a copy?
Yes.
All right, man. What's going on? Not the run you wanted, of course, tonight, but you did. Oh, yeah. We have him and his wife. But
You wanted to talk about something?
Jen,
Okay.
is that Jen Roberge?
Yes, it is.
oh, what's going on, Jen?
I just wanted to thank you guys so much for helping me.
Heard a little bit of delay there, but yeah. Want to get your? We heard you had a little bit of a fundraiser out there to get your bike back because we heard about that. So we're just trying to help as much as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Jen?
I just wanted to thank you guys so much for helping me. I'll just say it. Tell me when.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really hard because it was closer to Christmas.
Okay, you want to talk about that a little bit, like what it's about?
The GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff created it together to help me get a new bike, but we're taking it down this Friday because we can't leave it up all the time. But I didn't really have enough to get a new bike, but Chris and I were talking, my husband and I were talking, and my birthday. Or one for my birthday present.
Okay, you want to talk about that a little bit, like what it's about?
The GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Okay, keep them going.
All right, that's a
Created it together.
pretty good birthday present. We'll try to help you as much as we can. If maybe last minute GoFundMe donation here and there, but
Yeah, it's till I think Chris and I decided Friday will be the last day.
well, it's good that getting that replaced though.
Yeah. Even if I don't have enough for a bike, I'm gonna take Chris out for a nice dinner for our anniversary, 8-year anniversary next month.
There you heard it, guys. 8 years.
And
Pretty
11
good.
years of being together.
Well, Jen,
It's been really nice for all you guys helping me. Thank you very much.
I'm glad that we could do something to help you there. And That was a tragedy that happened to you.
Yeah,
And
Chris is still pretty mad about it.
oh, I'm sure. And no, it's our pleasure. So no need to thank us.
Yeah, we hope you already get the word out a little bit, just to
Yeah.
get it
I'm glad that we could do something.
get it out there. But it's good to hear that something good will be happening with that.
Oh yeah. I got quite a bit, so it's still pretty good.
But thank you for talking to us. We appreciate you giving us an update about that.
Problem.
No problem.
All right, but we do have the results for tonight. Tanner Sharp going to be your winner after leading 77 laps and pretty much asserting his dominance over the whole race. His teammate Kyle Zimmer, second place. David Wilson, up and down night, but going to finish third. Eric Minch ran top 5 all night. Going to come home fourth. Tom Johnson snuck up there in fifth place. Alan Capers finishing sixth. Brian Lowhead finishing seventh. AJ Digby, tough break at the end, going to finish eighth. Nate Catilla, same thing, tough break, finishing ninth. And Chris Roberge, whose wife we just talked to, finishing 10th. Kevin Cochran and Tim Connolly are going to round out the field, 11th and 12th respectively. But that is all we have for tonight. SimPossible Racing League. That's Kentucky, 83 laps. Tanner Sharp coming home with the win. Next week we are on to Pocono for the Tricky Triangle. But before we go, we want to give a shout out to Got That Stat and Track Cams for the great cameras. Oh, sorry, SimTV for the cameras. Carlos has given me wrong notes up here. I'm going to blame him even though it's my fault. But we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. That was a great race these guys put on, as always. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. It helps these guys out a lot. But from me, from Greg, and from Carlos, thank you guys for watching.